Deep within the grand mansion, the prince stands alone in thought, his face a mask of frustration. His mind churns with confusion as he struggles to comprehend his father's decision. The king, wise, revered, and commanding, has just gifted the legendary Black Blade to a man of unknown origins. Why would the king entrust this indestructible weapon to someone so unremarkable? The prince can't fathom the reasoning behind it. But even as doubt gnaws at him, the prince can't shake the nagging feeling that his father's motives are far deeper than they seem. The kingdom is teetering on the brink of chaos, unrest simmering in every corner. Perhaps the king is counting on Noor to bring the change the kingdom so desperately needs. Elsewhere, Noor and Lin share a quiet moment at a food stand in the bustling market. Noor can't help but feel uneasy. He asks, "Is it right for you, a princess, to be hanging around with someone like me?" "While I'm here, I'm just an adventurer," she says. After a moment of silence, he mentions he plans to head to the guild once they've eaten, his thoughts shifting to what lies ahead. As they continue to eat, Noor can't help but reflect on their strange teacher-student relationship. They arrive at the guild where the guildmaster looks up in surprise. "What's going on here, Kinshan?" he asks. Lin quickly reassures him. "While I'm adventuring, I'm just like any other adventurer." The guildmaster nods, though he's clearly still puzzled. His focus soon shifts to more practical matters. Noor asks for a quest, one that requires two adventurers. The guildmaster scans his records and, with a surprised glance, offers him a goblin hunting quest. This is a surprise to Noor. His excitement is palpable. This quest marks the beginning of a new chapter. But as the excitement settles, a sense of unease creeps over Noor. He turns to Lin, his voice uncertain. "Are you sure this is okay? I'm using your rank to take this quest." Lin looks at him. "It's fine, Noor. I'm happy to help however I can." Despite her reassurances, Noor's inner conflict remains. With the quest confirmed, the guildmaster hands them a map. "Head to the Forest of Beasts," he instructs. "You'll need to bring back goblin ears to prove you've completed the mission, but be warned, goblins have become scarce in the area, so if you can't find any, gather medicinal herbs instead." With the information in hand, Noor and Lin prepare to set out. But before they can leave, they must pass through the gatekeepers for one final check. Once everything is verified, they are free to go. Hours later, they arrive at the edge of the Forest of Beasts. Noor gazes into the dense expanse of trees. The forest is unlike anything he's seen before. Noor asks, "Can you tell me more about goblins?" Lin nods and begins her explanation. "Goblins are small creatures. They hunt small animals and gather fruits, but they're also known to attack humans if their numbers grow unchecked. The guild sends adventurers on quests like this to control their population and keep the balance of the forest intact." Armed with knowledge and determination, Noor and Lin press forward into the heart of the Forest of Beasts. Their quest is about to begin. The air thickens with the scent of moss and earth, and a heavy silence fills the woods. Lin, ever observant, uses her search ability to scan the area. No goblins appear, a strange and unsettling sign. As they delve deeper, Lin's expression sharpens. Her senses are honed, and she picks up the presence of something monstrous. It's a distant, strange energy. Noor agrees to follow the trail, pushing them deeper into the woods. There's something off about this place. Finally, they arrive at the source of the disturbance. But to their shock, the area appears empty. Noor notices something, legs hanging in midair. Then with a flash of magic, Lin reveals the truth. A massive creature, its grotesque form unmistakable. It's not just any goblin, it's a goblin emperor, a towering monstrosity. With a guttural roar, the goblin emperor swings two massive trees, hurling them toward Noor and Lin with terrifying force. Lin, caught off guard, freezes in panic, but Noor remains calm. With precision, he parries the blows, his sword clashing against the trees. The goblin realizes it can't overpower him through brute force and attempts to outmaneuver him, trying to sweep Noor into a corner. Noor isn't fooled. With swift precision, he counters, stunning the goblin and instructing Lin to attack. She fires a wind spell, but the creature is too fast, dodging effortlessly. Lin's frustration mounts as the goblin keeps evading their efforts. But the fight is far from over. As the goblin halts its attacks, Noor and Lin watch in disbelief as its wounds begin to heal at an unnervingly rapid rate. Lin quickly deduces that the creature's healing comes from the mono on its head. In that moment, he asks Lin to use one of her wind blasts on him. Lin hesitates, knowing the force could cause severe harm, but Noor's resolve is unwavering. The goblin lunges forward for another strike, but Lin doesn't hesitate. She casts the wind blast, sending Nor hurtling toward the monster with incredible force. Nor flies through the air, disoriented by the speed, but he quickly regains his senses and charges at the Goblin Emperor. The battle is not over yet. To ease the tension in his body, Nor uses the low heel technique, allowing him to land a clean strike to the goblin's forehead. The strike dislodges a glowing magical stone from the goblin's head. With it removed, the battle shifts. Lin, seeing the pain in the creature's eyes, offers a final mercy, burning the goblin to death. Nor had hoped for a painless end, but the flames consume the goblin's body, leaving nothing but ash. With their quest complete, Nor reflects on his lack of strength and vows to avoid future goblin hunts. Later in the castle, the prince receives news of the Goblin Emperor's defeat. But there's more to the tale. Something darker lingers. He learns of the rare mono stone found embedded in the goblin's head, a stone so pure it could only have come from the holy theocracy of Mithra. With this revelation, the prince realizes that the Magic Empire's hand is likely behind the invasion. Back at the guild master asks Nor about his experience with the goblin. Nor humbly admits the battle was harder than expected, and as Nor and Lin go to provide proof of their kill, they realize their mistake. Lin had burned the goblin's body to ashes. There's nothing left to show as evidence of their victory. Disturbed by the growing pattern of strange occurrences in the kingdom, the prince orders a full investigation. Reports suggest the Goblin Emperor's attack was just the beginning, as similar incidents have been reported across the land. With the kingdom's safety in jeopardy, the prince calls upon the Secret Service to investigate and sends out the 6 sovereigns to assist. After their exhausting hunt, Nor and Lin take a moment to relax and reflect. The guildmaster gives Nor his reward, even without proof, and Nor is grateful for completing his first hunt, but doubts linger. What's next for Lin? Will she stay by his side or move on? As evening falls, Lin prepares to leave. But just as she does, Prince Rain seeks out Nor for a new task. He asks Nor to accompany Lin on a journey to a city in the mountain district the following morning. A carriage and escort will be provided, along with a handsome reward. Nor, excited by the chance to ride in a carriage, eagerly accepts the offer. The next morning, as Nor and Lin travel in the royal carriage, Nor is in awe of the landscape before him. Yet Lin doesn't share Nor's enthusiasm. She worries about the burden Nor carries, feeling guilty that he's involved in a mission from her brother. Nor, however, reassures her that he's enjoying the journey and is well compensated for the task. Before they departed, Rain gathered the group and explained the journey ahead. The carriage would first travel toward the mountain district of Tauros, a brief rest there before crossing the mountains to reach the holy theocracy of Mithra. Rain reassured Nor that it was okay for him to be paid, even though he wasn't expected to do much. Unless, of course, something unexpected occurred along the way. Before they left, Rain gave En a secret order. He warned her of an impending disaster that would strike the royal capital. In the event of the capital's destruction, En was to take Lin and flee to Mithra. This was Rain's plan to protect Lin, as he knew that if Lin learned of the capital's fall, she would want to stay and fight. As they took a break by a river, En apologized to Nor. Nor didn't understand her apology, as he believed the journey was ordinary. When he asked, she admitted to worrying about her duties to protect him and Lin. Nor reassured her, claiming he could defend himself and would flee if things went too far. Suddenly, En revealed a surprising talent to Nor, a shield she could summon from thin air, a glowing green light. Nor was astonished as she demonstrated its power, explaining that if they faced danger, he could take shelter behind it. En's power wasn't something she had always understood. As a child in the orphanage, she had noticed a strange light emanating from her hand. When a friend tried to touch it, they were injured. Afterward, the adults became intrigued, recognizing her abilities as a divine gift, capable of forming swords and shields, powers that could even destroy a nation. She trained under Dandel, the shield sovereign, and soon mastered the ability to create shields strong enough to stop boulders. En harbored a secret. She was jealous of Nor. She had heard of him through Dandel. She instinctively disliked him. She felt he had earned Dandel's approval, something En herself longed for. This jealousy caused En to act hostile when they first met. As they journeyed through the fields, Nor noticed a strange, dead patch of land. Lin immediately sensed something was wrong and cast a spell, revealing a large, poisonous frog concealed by magic. The calm of their journey was shattered. Back at the capital, Rain's prediction was coming true. Monsters were flooding the streets, causing panic. While the warrior corps were holding the line, there were too many monsters for them to handle alone. The king could not fathom the destruction Doritas was causing, but Rain had already ordered the swordsman troops to block the monster's path and called on the Secret Service and hunters to assist. Rain warned that this was only the beginning. Doritas' wrath was far from over. The king had to prepare for the worst. The kingdom's defenders have been scattered to various locations, battling powerful monsters that threaten to overwhelm them. Their chances of victory dwindle with every passing minute. At least one glimmer of hope remains. Rain, having fought through the front lines, managed to get Lynn to safety. A young boy standing helplessly near a creature of unimaginable power recognizes the monster instantly. It's the Black Death Dragon, a force of destruction. Without a second thought, Nor steps forward. His instincts drive him to protect the boy, even as the monstrous creature rears back for another deadly strike. In an instant, he's in position, parrying the blow with unyielding determination. Ian, watching from afar, realizes something far darker. The boy, concealed by Lynn's spell, appeared at the exact same time as the monster. Could it be a demonkin? Long ago, Rain had spoken of demonkin, beings almost identical to humans, yet capable of forming mental bonds with monsters. Seen as abominations by most, demonkin were hunted to near extinction after they nearly destroyed an entire kingdom 200 years ago. Could this boy have led the monster here? Was he an enemy all along? Lynn, despite the truth, feels compelled to help Nor. But N stops her, knowing the cost of such a decision. She urges Lynn to stay back, to preserve what little hope remains for the kingdom, even if it means leaving Nor to die. With each passing moment, Nor's strength wanes. Poison spreads through his veins, a fatal substance that claims his body, and yet he fights on, determined to protect the boy. As poison fills the air, N shields Lynn from its deadly effects. Desperate, Lynn begins to purify the air, but it's not enough. The weight of Nor's impending death settles in. Lynn's heart aches. Morally torn, she watches as Nor fights against death itself. His blood stains the battlefield, but still he pushes forward. His determination is something Lynn can't ignore. Finally, Nor collapses. Blood pours from his body and he knows his time is running out. But even as death beckons, he smiles. The boy's story is not one of revenge, but of survival. The demonkin children, locked away and tortured for their abilities to control monsters. They were the abomination, the cursed ones, hated by all. The boy never once sought revenge, despite the beatings, the cruelty. His captors offered him a choice: control monsters and attack a neighboring kingdom, or face even greater suffering. But the boy's soul remained unbroken, never seeking vengeance, despite the world's hatred. Even as his ability to read minds exposed him to their every cruel thought, the world saw him as a monster, until the day he was forced to use his power to destroy. The monster, meant to obey, broke free. Chaos erupted, and the boy lost control. The boy's heart sank not for himself, but for the demonkin he knew would now suffer even more. Resigned to his fate, the boy closed his eyes, hoping for peace in another life. But then a figure stepped forward, ready to defend him. Why would someone from the kingdom risk their life for a boy like him? The monster struck with venomous precision, hitting both Nor and the boy. Nor, skilled in healing magic, chose to save the boy, collapsing only after ensuring the boy was safe. Nor's confidence came from a past riddled with danger. As a child, he had once poisoned himself with a reckless concoction of herbs. Using his healing magic, he barely survived. Later, a venomous snake's bite should have been his end, but his body adapted, resisting the venom. Over time, Nor began to seek out poisons intentionally, eating them, enduring them, and surviving. But he developed a strange immunity. Now face to face with the monstrous frog, Nor's immunity became his greatest weapon. Venom that would kill others barely fazed him. He parried its claws, shattered its teeth, and forced its own poison to implode within its body. The beast exploded, and Nor stood victorious. As he surveyed the battlefield, Nor couldn't help but wonder how such a poisonous creature ended up in this field. The boy watched in silence, unable to comprehend Nor's actions. This man, from a kingdom he thought of as cruel, had saved him. The boy stirs and slowly reveals the truth. He brought the poisonous frog that played a key role in the battle. But Nor misunderstands. He assumes the boy is just a frog farmer. Apologetically, he expresses regret for potentially interfering with those plans. Yet the boy's next words shatter Nor's assumptions. He explains that his real power lies in controlling monsters. Expected hostility should have followed, but instead Nor surprises him. He sees not a threat, but a rare ability. Overwhelmed by Nor's kindness, the boy breaks down, tears streaming from years of rejection. Nor comforts him, offering words of hope, reminding him that his life isn't defined by the hate he's known. Meanwhile, Lin and the others arrive, shocked to see Nor standing tall after the dragon's deadly miasma. Lin, sensing something strange, speculates that Nor may have unlocked a rare, sacred technique, the sacred spirit. This technique could purify all corruption. He asks Lin to heal the boy, but the boy refuses, revealing that he's unharmed. Lin, however, is cautious. She recognizes his demonkin lineage, but as the boy shares his story, one of slavery and forced servitude, Lin begins to see his humanity. Nor insists on helping him. Then from the shadows a man appears. His shocked expression hints at a deeper, more sinister plot.